my YouTube channel Programming with DPL. Today we are discussing the problem from the CodeShip Starter 72 and we are discussing the one of the very interesting problem from this contest, that is no sequence. The difficulty rating of this problem is 2031 and even I feel the same. This problem is not very difficult in implementing it, but few mathematical proofs are required to implement this problem. So let's discuss. So here in this problem, we are given with the three integers n, k and s, and we need to find that whether s is a good sequence or not. How we can find that s is a good sequence? For that they have given the two conditions that a sequence b of length n is called s good when the sequence bi contains -1, 0 and 1 for each value of I in the range 1 to n, and the summation of bi into ki to the power I minus 1 will be equivalent to the our original s. So if multiple s good sequences are possible, we need to print any of them, but if no such good sequence is possible, then we need to print -2. So here the constraints given are that n is from the range 1 to 100, k is from 2 to 100, and our s is from 1 to 10 to the power 18. So by saying s, we can easily choose the long data type, because here int will give overflow, integer overflow will be there. So we need to choose the long data type in every case. So let's discuss how to go forward with its implementation, how to derive the formula for it. So here the test cases are given 425, 36, 36 and 557, and the respective or you can say appropriate answer for this is 111. These are the good sequence. Then for 557 no good sequence is possible, so they are printed minus. So let's discuss that how we can generalize this problem, or we can say find the sequence which can satisfy both this condition. To solve this problem, one must be familiar with the modulo concept and some of the binary or to decimal equivalent concepts. So let's discuss the mathematical proof. So as we have discussed that the S is called good sequence when it follows the two conditions, that it contains the value 0, 1 and -1, and must be and its summation we can say bi into that particular ki to the power I minus 1, its summation will be equivalent to the original S. So by seeing that equation, what we can do is that, as we know that after opening that summation, what will come is that b0 plus b1 into k plus b2 into k to the power 2 plus b up to bn minus 1 k to the power n minus 1. So here what we have done, that we have opened that summation. How we have opened that? We have put the I value and we got i's range from 0 to n. So here after opening this, we get this as the s value. So after opening that summation, what we have done, we have remove, or we can say take k as the common value from the uh, b1 to bn minus 1. So what we get here, we get our equation. We considered b of 1 to b of n minus 1 as a y value, so the equation comes out to be s is equal to b of 0 plus k into y. So here there is a catch, that in the question they have mentioned that we need to find the summation which can be equivalent to the total s. So for that we require the remainder. So here our remainder is b of 0. So remainder is s modulo k. So we put b of 0 in the left hand side. So s minus b of 0 divided by k is our y value. So here from this we can see that s minus remainder divided by k is our s value. So after that what we can do, in the loop we will calculate the remainder, and at every time we will check that whether that remainder value is equivalent to not equal to 1 or not equal to 0. If it is not equal to 1 or 0, means no such value is possible. So we simply push -1 into our vector. We will create one vector and we will push -1, because no possible remainder is there for that particular value. Or else if there is a if it is equal to 1 or it is equal to 0, then we simply push remainder into our vector and we decrement and we change our s value. How we will change? By this only, s minus b of 0 divided by k. S minus remainder divided by K. We got this. So this is the biggest hint for solving this problem. So after this, what we can do, we can run a for loop and we can calculate the current sum for our for checking the second condition. And in the question they have mentioned that we need to check for the current sum as well, that whether current sum, after calculating all the current sum, whether it is equal to S or not. If it is equal, then we print our the vector that we have in which we have pushed the remainders. We'll simply print that. Otherwise, if it is not equal, then we simply need to print -2. So now let's see its implementation. Hope you understand the mathematical proof behind this problem. This is the only hint that is required to solve this problem. So let's see the code. So this is the implementation part. So here what I have done, here I have taken the NK as an input from the user. Then here I have stored the S value in the flag, because as the second condition is that we need to check whether that our summations value is equal to the S or not. If it is equal, then we print a vector. So for this, as I have stored it in the flag because we are updating the S value. Here I have declared the final sum variable to store the current sum value. Here I have declared the vector for pushing our remainder. So here what I have done, as I have mentioned that we need to calculate the remainder first, because the formula that we have generated is S minus remainder divided by K. That remainder is nothing but S modulo K. So here first I have calculated the remainder, and in the explanation part I told that we need to check that whether that remainder is not equal to 0 or not equal to 1, means it is not possible for that particular value to calculate. So we simply set the remainder as -1. No need, so we change the remainder, then we push the remainder value as into our vector. If it is not equal to 0 or 1, then our remainder value is simply S mod K. And at last, as I mentioned, that S is equal to S minus remainder divided by K, we have changed the S value. So here we have updated our, we can say we have solved our first case that is necessary for the good sequence. So to be have a good sequence. So here what, after that what we need to do, we need to calculate the current sum. How we calculate current sum? In the formula that they have given, that it is V of I into K to the power I. Similarly for the remaining values. So here what I have done, we have called the function for this, because in this case what will happen if you simply apply the power function that multiply V of I to the K to the power I, it will give us the wrong answer, or it will give the garbage value for the very large answer. So here I have called this function K comma I, because for calculating the power, there is a possibility that the number becomes quite large and it will not be come under the long, or we can say long data type. So we need to handle that larger values. Here we can apply the modulo as well, and apply the different techniques as well. So I have here applied this technique, that which is the very common technique to shorten the numbers, which will calculate as the power value of K, or we can say K to the power I. So after calculating the K to the power I, we simply multiply it all the V of I values, because we are simply applying the formula V of I into K to the power I, same B of for the all the values. So after calculating the final sum, we need to check for the second case that in the question that they have given, that whether the summation value is equivalent to the original S value. So here we have checked that flag is equal to final sum or not. Final sum is the current sum. So here in flag we have stored the original S value, because as we are updating the S value, so S value becomes changed. So here we have checked that whether original S value is equal to current sum. If it is equal, then we see, then are all the conditions first and the second are true. So we simply print our vector. Otherwise, if it is not equal, so in the question they have mentioned, if no such sequence is possible, simply print -2. Here I have print -2. So this is the whole implementation part for this problem. Hope you understand this problem in a very efficient manner. To solve this problem, one must first calculate and solve this problem with the help of the pen and paper, and come up with the most appropriate mathematical proof that I have shown. After you got that approach, or we can say that mathematical proof correctly, you can easily implement this problem. The implementation part is very easy for this problem. So hope you understand this problem in a very efficient manner and you got the approach behind this problem. So if you watch this video till this point, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay connected for more such lead code, code shape, code forces, contest analysis. Thank you.